Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Hello, gentlemen.
How are you, my friend?
Very well, very well.
Doing all right? Good. I've got to get sorry, it takes me a minute to get my things in order because the Grind Time podcast was here last night. And so headphones are just blowing my head off.
Get all your knobby things in order, etc.
Apparently, Darren's ears don't work as good as mine because these are just blowing my fucking head off. What a fun night last night, man. Wish you guys were here. E left early, but Mac and those guys had Eddie Mio, the goaltender, in.
Sure, I remember.
What a cool guy. Do you remember him?
Absolutely.
What were his big years?
I have no idea. I just remember the name. I remember the player.
It was like 70s, maybe an 80, part of the 80s. Obviously, because he was with the Oilers, got there before Grant Fuhr and whatever, and was with the Wings for a while, and the Islanders, and they mentioned he's best friends with Wayne Gretzky, or as he's known from here on out, Gretz. We just call him Gretz now. So had a nice conversation with him. I think we'll get him to come by here at a later date. Should be fun, and it was cool. It was a cool night all the way around, and our last show before the weekend, and Big E and E is wishing this was on a different day, but we got the Sponge Pub Crawl coming up on Saturday night, and
dude, it'll be fun. It's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I just have had a few two weeks in a row where I wouldn't mind a weekend off, but
really, you need time off now between weekends.
Hey, he's getting older, right?
Whoa!
He is getting older.
Whoa! Between weekends, one of those was 4 days in a row where I was, outside for 12 hours a day, and one of them was when I was in New York. Every night, I wasn't into bed earlier than 4 a.m. 4 nights in a row. So
I was at the same New York City,
you
weren't
up the same time.
Yeah, I was in bed by like 11.
Yeah, so it's just a bit, and I don't sleep when I'm in the hotels and stuff. So what happens is I go to bed at 4 a.m. and I'm up at 7.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Poop in toilets in hotels either.
Right.
It is someone's special day around here, though.
I know.
Yeah, look at Big Boy. He looks a little older, doesn't he? He's getting a lot of gray hairs in that beard of his. Look at that poops.
What are you, 39?
40?
35.
35 years old. Big E. Happy
prostate
birthday,
exams. This is a year.
No, it's not.
This is the 3-finger year, right?
I
35?
So,
yeah. So I'm just saying, man. So, happy birthday, Isis. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
See who else is here? Anyone else?
Brandon.
Look at Brandon here. Look, young Brandon.
Happy to be back.
Yeah, it was our intern last summer. Yeah, now you're off to Central Michigan. Yep. Probably just crushing puss and drinking keggers.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
He's also doing color commentary for the Lady Chips basketball.
Really?
Yep, doing a lot of color commenting. Just did last Saturday against Eastern Michigan, travel with the team there, and
nice.
Earlier this month, travel with them to Western Michigan.
Give us a little example of a call.
Yeah,
that energy level is high.
Yeah. Who are the superstars on the team?
We got 2 really good players on the team. Presley Hudson, Raina Frost.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, everyone knew. You could see it with Raina early on.
Just call a quick pick and roll between those two.
Yeah.
And break it down for us.
I'm more of the color guy. I'm not like the play-by-play guy. So
all right, break down the pick and roll that just happened.
So what would the color guy do that if it's like that, Rainer up the middle, passes left to Johnson. Johnson from the wing. That's a 3. It's good. Count it.
Great pick there by Raina Frost. She did a great job setting the screen, rolling to the basket, and having a great
There's
finish
a steal.
down
Raina's got it again.
Yeah.
Up for a high 3, and boom goes the dynamite.
Hit it, Brandon. What's
next?
There's
nothing. What's next? My color guy. He's not offering me anything. That was a great steal there, Mike. You see the way she got her hand in the pocket there, and give her wallet back.
So do you have?
She did a great job there, Mike. Yeah, she sure did. Great job explaining it.
I'm not here in the shops, to be honest with you, right now. I don't know.
He's starting out. He's young.
I know.
He's young.
Yeah, it's been 2 games. Come on.
So you have experience playing women's basketball?
Yes.
What makes you qualified for this, Brandon?
Yeah, extensive research.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Was it hard to get the gig?
No, it's just a simple audition. It's student run. They have a professional who does play-by-play, and really it's just like a rotation of students doing everything else.
Yeah.
Done a lot of board hopping, stuff like that.
Did your internship here do anything to help you?
Not so much with the basketball, but mainly. My class.
I would hope not.
I have a certain class that everything you guys taught me, like just having like a general like concept of knowing what to do and why to do it, and not so much of because I didn't learn a whole lot of like how to do it, like because I was still learning. I mean, that's what more school is for, but it's just I knew why I was doing stuff. So
you had some context.
Yeah.
Okay. And I knew when we were working with you, it was kind of like Mr. Miyagi. It's like you don't understand why you're painting the fence and why you're waxing on and waxing off and sanding the deck. It doesn't make sense. It's like, why am I doing this? Now you're seeing why you do it. Oh yeah. All those months I had to sand Mike's deck. It's making sense now when I'm in the editing room. It's all coming together.
I mean, really, it's making a lot more sense. Like when I painted your deck, that made so much more sense.
Paint defense.
I hear you, Brandon. I was just about 2 weeks ago. I was like, this guy sitting in front of me, believe it or not, used to be one of my heroes, and then here I was salting his driveway. You know what I mean? So you never know.
Yeah, getting your lunch. I mean, that didn't make a whole lot of sense, but
that's not going to help you a ton, but it helped us a ton. It really did. Having you run around and get coffee or lunch is amazing.
Actually, that's pretty much a promotional intern. I mean, that doesn't really do shit for you.
If you're a promotional intern, you got to really work hard to get into programming because that's where you want to be. But no, I knew it would help you just being around the equipment because I know a lot of times these kids go to schools and they really don't offer much in the way of real world hands-on training. Sometimes the equipment's dated and whatnot, and so getting around equipment that can help is big.
I'm in a class right now. Literally, we're learning about your board, the mics, cameras, everything. It's making all sense now.
I love it. We actually helped a young man out.
My goodness.
Oh,
Can't
man.
believe it.
You guys did something right.
Yeah.
Something good. Something good and right.
Once we gave back to the community, and look at the female chips out there. Well, taking advantage of you. So that's great, dude. Have fun. I know you're killing it, and enjoy the show. It's good to have you back. Spring break. Look at this big boy. Spring break. All grown up now.
A lot of friends, they're going to Mexico and Florida, but I was like, no, guys, I'm going to the Detroit cast.
There you go. That's right. There you go. Well, thanks for stopping back by.
Hey, Easus, did you have something you wanted to say about our friends at Twin Peaks?
Oh, if I could.
Don't stumble over your words,
I'm going to try not to. At Twin Peaks, there is something from the made-from-scratch menu for every fan's appetite. The perfect sidekick to any meal is a featured rotating tap served at a frosty 29 degrees in a 22-ounce man-sized mug. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Man size.
He's somewhere between his Specs voice there and like trying to be natural and normal. It is Biggie History Day. We'll get to that later on. I do not know what he's doing yet.
Don't forget I'm a visual learner, Easus, so hopefully you'll take care of me there.
Use a lot of visual aids for today's history.
Very good. I was in the middle of mentioning the pub crawl that E and myself and T Roy will be on, heading out with the guys from Sponge. It's gonna be a lot of fun. They sold that sucker out and then opened up a new bus, and it's $35 a head. So there is some limited seating left. So just go to spongepubcrawl.com. Come party with us Saturday night. Be a lot of fun. You can bring beers on the bus, and we'll go get shit-faced together. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Jay, we were talking the other day about, I couldn't remember his name. I was like, remember that fucker that lied to Congress? I was talking about how I'm getting sick and tired of these people, these talking heads on the news talking about, this guy needs to be impeached or fired or thrown in jail. How dare you lie to Congress? I'm like, I've seen so many of these assholes lie to Congress, and how now you're up here preaching to everybody about what a monster someone is for lying to Congress. And a lot of people pointed out it was James Clapper who I was talking about, and he was the former director of national intelligence. Can't remember if Bush appointed him or if Obama did, but he ran through Obama's
I don't remember
presidency. And he denied yesterday that he lied to Congress when he falsely testified during the Obama administration about what the government, national security, what they're tracking. And he's the guy I was trying to think of. So he's given testimony, and he's recalling his testimony from 2013. And because it's the reason it's in the news now is because it looks like they're abandoning that program of just like mass metadata collection of all your phone calls. And he absolutely knew this was going on. And if not for Edward Snowden, I don't know if we ever find out about what the mass grab is of all of our stuff. And just for people to remember, this was Mr. Clapper back in 2013. If you got cut number 1 there, E, you can see that he didn't lie to Congress.
There you go.
At all on millions. Does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
Ooh.
It does not.
Not wittingly.
Ooh.
There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps,
maybe
collect, but not wittingly.
Yeah.
How's he get out of that one?
Yeah, that's a tough one. He's trying to say stuff like, "Oh, I thought they were talking about Rule 703 in the book. I was talking about 230. I was confused.
Data of any kind.
Just confusion, or oh man, I made a mistake. It was an accident. Does that get you out of? I was thinking no, that they trip people up. That's the whole point in a lot of these cases, is to trip someone's words up when they're talking to them. So he says, I thought of another surveillance program, Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, when I was being asked about Section 215 of the Patriot Act. It seemed very clear. He was asked, is there any collection of just mass collection of data going on? No.
Yeah, it seems like he would want to narrow it and say, is that Section 215 you're talking about, or Section?
Yeah.
Right. If you had any confusion.
And I believe they gave him the question a day in advance because he had at the point said, oh, it sprung on me. I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. They're like, yeah, we sent that to your office yesterday. And they offered to give him a chance to, set the record straight. And he never returned that call. He did later explain, if you have that one, Isis, how number 2 there?
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Great respect for Senator Wyden. I thought, though, in retrospect, I was asked, when are you going to stop beating your wife kind of question, which is meaning not answerable necessarily by a simple yes or no. So I responded in what I thought was the most truthful or least untruthful manner by saying no.
Yeah, the least untruthful manner. Boy, that's quite a story right there. The least untruthful manner.
Least untruthful, yeah.
That's boy, oh boy, that's a hell of a. So for that claptrap to be fucking jawing on the news about lying to Congress and how bad it is and how
you'd think he'd just slink back into the background, right?
Take a knee on this one, just kind of bow out gracefully. And so they're talking about this thing. I guess Congress needs to renew this part of the NSA part of the program, and they've got to the end of the year to do it. And it sounds like they're just going to quietly walk away from that thing. And
I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
Oh man, poor Michael Jackson. It's all falling apart, Jay. Oh man, radio stations. We were talking about this a little bit yesterday. All being bummed out. That they are all banning the music from him and whatnot. And more of them are doing that now. And I can't figure out if this is like, we just feel so bad for those poor kids and blah, blah, blah. We cannot let the music play. They did make an announcement out of Detroit that some of the museums and stuff are like, no, we're not ditching our Michael Jackson shit. Sorry, deal with it. And I was like, thank God. I want the glove on display.
Yeah, Motown Museum. That's one of their big draws.
Oh, dude. It's the draw. It's the outfits that he wore.
It's the studio that's sitting there. Come on, that's the draw.
Yeah. You're talking about Hitsville, USA, and you're right. But dude, when you walk in there and see that glove behind the glass and all the Jackson 5 costumes that they wore, that's pretty sweet. But yeah, obviously the studio is the main draw. So anyway, Quebec radio stations Cogeco Media has stopped playing Jackson's music on 3 of their stations, and then 23 of their stations will cease to play the artist's songs. Media Rep explained they decided to remove his music for the time being.
Until when?
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, for the time being.
So y'all forget about this shit and we can just start slipping them back in again.
Well, yeah, because this is a quote from them. Because we are attentive to the comments of our listeners, and the documentary released on Sunday evening created reactions. Yeah. So you're attentive. So that means anybody that wasn't bothered or not bothered, but doesn't want music banned will never call you. So 50 people called you and said, this is an outrage. This needs to be banned. So that's the pulse, the finger on the pulse of the community you have.
Should I call up or make comments just saying, hey, what about us pro-child rape people? Can I hear the Jackson music or what?
I just don't understand. And if you're either it's bad now, it's not temporarily, but fucking the butthole of a child is always bad.
It is, for the record.
You know what I mean? Especially when it's not yours. Or does that make it worse? I can't remember. It's just bad. And it doesn't mean it's going to be good in a year.
Ever.
like he said, how dare you? Were you banging buttholes? Looks like maybe you were. You go in timeout for 6 months.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's going to be some ultimate resolution, right, of the matter, some proof. Oh, no, he didn't do that. Okay, music can go back on.
Yeah.
No, this is probably a PR move, right? Everybody's talking about, Quebec station, whatever, band.
Did
Michael
you know
Jackson.
they existed?
I did not.
I mean, I
didn't know. I forgot Quebec existed, to be honest with you.
Did you really?
I did. I forgot all about Quebec.
Left. Yes.
Nordiques become the Avalanche, and I forget all about Quebec.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, had I thought hard about it, I would have said, if Quebec still exists and there's some gray area about this.
Well, the moon doesn't exist and the Earth is flat, so I mean,
we don't
who's
know.
to say Quebec is still
Why
there?
would the Nordiques leave if Quebec was still there? It
They
just
won.
doesn't make sense.
City shut down, so did the team.
So we're going back and forth, yay, nay, does Quebec exist? But if it does, I bet they have media stations. I bet they have radio there, right?
I reckon.
Yeah. And so, but I didn't know they existed, and now I do. But this whole idea of like, for the time being, it's like, what if I call them in 5 months and be like, I gotta hear Billie Jean. I can't hear it anywhere else but your station. Like, he's got another month to go on his time out. And then we'll look away from the fact that he was having nude children present, bent over on all fours and spreading cheeks so he could lick their buttholes.
But realizing Jackson has an unbelievable catalog of music, does it even make a dent in a like? What is this station? It's an '80s station or something. Who's really playing Michael Jackson music anymore, right? If you're playing 80s music, just throw some more Duran Duran on there and it'll cover it right up.
Well, what do you do if you're a station that focuses on the biggest hits of the 80s, 90s, and whatever?
Then you move on to some Duran Duran and Culture Club.
Dude, how many number ones were on Thriller alone? You're just going to ignore that? Like that didn't happen?
Yeah, like honestly, if you took a couple songs, a couple of the top hits of the 70s out, there's plenty of other 70s hits that are there. And
I'm not willing to do that. I'm not. Would you pull up Thriller E?
I guess what I'm saying is I don't know that I'd notice that Jackson's missing from the.
Of course you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't. But it's just the idea that they would do it is what bothers me, because you're playing to the angry mob again. The squeaky wheel is getting the oil. I guarantee that station did not get more than 50 phone calls. And usually it's the same 50 people protesting. We got to write a letter where, their church, and someone decides. That's what happened to us at the Edge, with me and Beagle, when we had Jeffrey Feiger on, and he said that
it's the Beagle.
He said that our who was it? Was he the mayor or governor or shit?
Oh, John Angler.
John Angler.
His kids with corkscrew tails.
Yeah, he said, I don't believe those are his kids unless they've got corkscrew tails. Basically saying the governor was a fucking pig, calling him a pig. And so all of a sudden we get all this mail over the next week, all this mail, and it's all using the same sentences, the same wording.
Right. Yeah.
It's like someone went, here's what we need to do. This is reprehensible. I find this reprehensible. What these clowns did on the radio, the way it was worded, I wanted the track list of the album.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we don't have 45 minutes to watch the
entire music video.
Thriller video. God, that was exciting when it came out on VHS.
What a moment, huh?
My dad came home with a Betamax VCR that was about the size of your car, I believe, like the day they were available. And as a surprise, he pulled out on beta the making of Michael Jackson Thriller.
Oh my God.
And it was the
That's
greatest
exciting.
day. To this day, the greatest day ever.
I remember going over to Deuce's house because he had MTV and watching the premiere of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did have a special to launch the video, but then they cut it down to 5 minutes or whatever it was. But they originally played that. All right, so what are we going without?
What are we missing? Billie Jean, Thriller.
Well, dude, I don't know. Next time I'm rolling through Quebec, could be next weekend.
Want to be starting something.
Got to be starting something. Baby be mine. Fine.
Baby be mine. The
girl is mine.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Mine. That's with Paul McCartney.
Oh, hell yeah. What did Paul do? Doesn't deserve that.
Thriller,
Beat It. Human Nature.
Tell me that it's human nature. Why do you do it that way? PYT, pretty young thing.
PYT, pretty young thing.
The Lady in My Life. That's one I don't remember. The Lady in My Life.
Yeah, it's not written by Jackson because there's no lady in his life. He wrote The Boy in My Life, and they changed it. Mr. Temperton
had to come in and
Can you fix this? He just took boy and changed it with lady. They get Jackson's puke bucket, put it in the studio, and have him sing the lady instead of the boy.
Yeah, those are I'd say 7 very memorable songs.
The girl is mine, mine. Tell him that it's human nature. Why would you do me that way? I think I cannot go if I'm in Quebec. I want to hear PYT. Pretty young thing. I want to hear Human Nature. I'll pass on Billie Jean and Beat It. Overplayed. Thriller can go fuck itself. The Girl Is Mine is good. And want to be starting something. Got to be starting something.
Want to be starting something. Got to be starting something.
3, 4. That's at least 5 songs.
Yeah.
In there that I need
and you're
hear.
Knocking out Billie Jean, Beat It, and Thriller. You don't want to hear those.
Yeah, I don't want to hear the 3 biggest cuts from the fucking album.
What about
you're gonna be driving around with the radio on,
jamming, window down, proudly.
Dude, I thought McCartney was with him on a couple other songs. Am I wrong on that?
No, he was later. He did the one where they're the snake oil salesman.
Yes.
Remember that video?
Yeah, and that's when he fell in love with that Neverland Ranch was right around that area. I think they may have even filmed it there.
That might have been.
He was like, I have to have this.
Yeah. I believe he told Wade Robson or Safe Check, one of them, that he was buying it for them too. It was for them.
God, what is that song?
Isn't that the start of when Jackson got the rights to the Beatles catalog too? I think it was when they collaborated on one of those songs. God, it's gonna piss you off, dude.
I know.
Fuck.
Say what you want, but don't play games with my affections. Yeah, they
Wasn't
did
a bad song.
Say, The Girl Is Mine, The Man and Girlfriend.
Don't know that one. How do you feel about that? About radio stations like cutting stuff, like basically censoring artists for, bad behavior or potentially bad behavior?
Sure, knock him out.
Really?
If he there's a huge chance he did this, and so why benefit him, right? Because I know it's
a dope song,
pennies on the dollar, but some amount of money is going to his estate, right?
See, I don't like this, and I don't think this goes well because it's just another thing.
Dude, it's not like it's being wiped out of history. I'm just saying.
They're getting close.
I'm just saying, if a radio station doesn't want to play it, I get it.
Well, see, if I give you an inch, Jay, I know you're going to run a mile. You're going to take a fucking mile. You are. And this Spotify tried to do this with, like, make a stand. R. Kelly will not be available on our platform. And people threw a fucking shit fit. That lasted for a month. And then they went, okay, you can have your R. Kelly. They were like, no. And it's not because I think R. Kelly's a fucking great person. He's a piece of shit. But, I want to hear I Believe I Can Fly. That song did nothing wrong to me. What's the other one? The remix to remix to Ignition. You want to hear that, right? It's a great song.
Brandon wants to hear it. He's got to hear it.
Yeah.
Got to hear remix.
Yeah. So I mean, and where does it stop? Do we? I want to be able to watch Naked Gun, even though O.J. Simpson murdered 2 people. Yeah. You know what I mean? I do not want to be like, no, we're not going to have this on the shelves anymore. Chris Brown, I don't care for his music, but some people.
I guess I'm coming from the standpoint of like, if a business doesn't want to carry that, if they're like, there's like a 99% chance this guy was fingering buttholes and banging little kid buttholes.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Adult penises and
we don't want that on
mouths.
We don't want that on our airwaves.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with private business doing that.
Because where do you draw the line, Jay? Kevin Spacey, Swimming with Sharks is a great fucking movie.
Well, if you're a private business and you have the right to put out what you want to put out, the line is wherever they want it to be.
House of Cards went down the shitter.
It did. Terrible. The ending. We deserve 6 more months of filming to get that squared away and finish that story proper.
I stopped watching just because I knew that he was going to end up leaving. I didn't want it to be ruined for me, so I just stopped watching.
Yeah. Well, you didn't miss much.
That's one solution.
Yeah.
So he tuned out. He did. I don't know, dude. I just think if you were to go and take every fucking artist, especially an actor who has gotten their bloated egos and taken advantage of everything, and you start judging them morally, like, oh my God, dude, you'd lose everything. You could potentially, and that's why I hate the first domino being knocked down. You ban this artist, people go,
but it's not being wiped out of history. Like, you can get that song.
I can't watch the Cosby Show. I cannot watch the Dukes of Hazzard. I don't like that. I couldn't watch Roseanne for a few weeks, I don't think. And God damn it, if I'm in Quebec, I want to hear Pretty Young Thing.
PYT.
Pretty Young Thing. I just think it sets difficult precedents, and you know how important that is to get that in the books where precedents set. People go, well, why wouldn't you? The Quebec radio stations banned it. Why wouldn't you? Does that mean you're pro fingering toddler buttholes?
Right.
And you go, no.
Then it's up to that business to go, no, that's not what it means.
Yeah. I fear they won't.
I'd rather have the freedom of a business to be able to go, yeah, you know what? I don't like what this guy was all about, and I'm not going to benefit him by playing his songs.
Yeah.
I want them to have the freedom to do that.
See, I hope people go, oh, really? You're pulling that? Well, then you better pull this. Otherwise, you're racist.
Okay.
Why is this white artist on there who did
that's
something
part
bad?
of the equation. I understand, that's the next question. But I'd rather defend a company's right to do that.
Yeah.
Than to just go, no, private company, you have to keep everything up because we want everything up and we don't want precedent set.
So if you became a media conglomerate yourself and you opened, WJAY all over the country, WJAY radio, would you?
Kind of catchy, actually.
It is, isn't it?
I'd listen to it.
WJAY.
Just for that alone, I'd listen to it.
Smooth hits from the 80s and 90s. WJAY, Detroit.
Yeah. What would I do?
Would you, as a programmer, would you let him play PYT pretty young?
Yeah. See, I want to distinguish between what I said before. I said I don't have a problem with them doing it, but I don't think I would personally take that.
Jay's pro-fingering child buttholes.
Yeah.
You'd let that air on your stations. How dare you?
Maybe. I'd have to look at it.
Why would WJAY let that song air on your program? You know Quebec canceled it. What are you, pro-fingering child buttholes and kissing them and stuff?
Yep.
I am. You don't like it?
There's a market out there, and I'm filling it, goddammit.
Yeah,
that's right.
This is WJAY.
Bring them all in here. R. Kelly, Michael Jackson.
This is the landing place. This is the island radio station that airs Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And all the hits.
Shitheads.
You haven't heard this jam in a while, but mountain air.
Hey.
Yeah, Gary Glitter likes fucking kids, but we don't care at WJAY.
You could probably line up a good hour of content, right? From just kid fuckers.
It's time for the 5 o'clock funnies on WJAY. Yeah, I was at the dentist the other day. You see that? Yeah, my mouth is all numb and I'm drooling and water's pouring down my face. And I'm like, Ennis. You got Cosby on there? Louis C.K. shit would fly.
God.
Dude, we got a program. WJAY. Your station's going to be a huge hit, dude. Playing all the best from the band artists.
Counterculture.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. So, anyway. If they keep banning his shit, we're gonna start WJAY. We can just do it right out of here. We'll pay it for a jingle package, dude. We'll do all the sweeps, all the donut production. We'll get the big voice guy.
WJAY, that's right. 105.3, the J.
I'll be able to practice my DJ skills. I can hold a shift, right?
He would probably apply for a job.
I know how to post up.
Yeah, I got a job now, but I was just wondering maybe if you guys need a board up or something, I could come in. I love what you guys are doing at JY. Really changing the landscape of the community.
Hey, insurance, we all need it. Most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 30 years in the business. He offers all types of insurance coverage: auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900. Get a free, no obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900.
Put a little bow on the Jackson stuff. I forgot some of the things that were in parts because it was 4 hours of documentary.
Yeah.
But that Wade Robson kid was talking about how, as soon as that civil case was paid to Jordy Chandler, $23 million. He said within days he was like, "Whew, that's behind me," and he was fucking me all over Neverland Ranch, like right away.
Really?
Yes, dude. So
that's behind me.
Yeah, now that's gone and settled, we can get back to business. Wow. And he whisked Robson off to and his family off to the secluded estate outside Santa Barbara. And once there, Robson was raped and assaulted by the man. Because remember, this is where he went and testified. Oh my God, he never touched me.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes later, he's being, he's fucking all over Neverland Ranch.
That's really astounding.
Mom, I got to be honest with you. I've wanted to side with you. I get it. Starfucker, he's big name. He's paying for your car and shit. When he pays out $23 million and the first thing you do, my mom and I went to Neverland soon after the settlement for a few days. And, the same physical scenario happened where Mom stayed in one of his rooms in Neverland and I went up into Michael's room and into Michael's bed.
God,
and the same sexual stuff happened just like it did all over again. But here's the weird part. Jackson booted those two kids once he got fucking Jordy in the mix, and right on the heels, soon thereafter was.
So how does it square with that?
It was just like, get out of here, you! I've got a new tinier butthole.
Yeah, but you're saying that the kids came back. He did it again to them.
Well, once Jordy Chandler's started suing, it was like, oh, I better get safe, Chuck, and the other kid over here to tell him not to talk. It's our secret. You'll go to jail too.
But at that point, they had grass on the infield, right? He did not want to play ball.
I think he was close at that point, and Jackson gave him one more, weekend. But for them, it was like they hated Jordy Chandler because he stole their Michael.
Yeah.
They thought their boyfriend, their fucking guy, that's how
twisted.
It's so twisted. And so they were like, good, finally Jordy's gone. We can get back to, and they thought they were right back in the mix. They testified, and dude, this is so funny. The mom, she can't even say it with a straight face on the video. She's like, yeah, I mean, there was during that trial, there was the small loan he gave us to buy a house, but it was a low interest rate. It was a nice interest rate that Jackson gave us when he loaned us the money to buy our new home.
Oh my God.
And then, as soon as the trial was over, and I know this doesn't sound good, but I just didn't see it at the time. He excused that loan and just said we were good. I was like, really?
Bought you a house.
Yeah. And then he bought your kid a car for his 16th birthday. And yeah.
What are these guys' relationships with their parents who allowed this to happen?
I believe Wade's dad shot his face off.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah.
But the mom you're referring to is Wade's, and then how about this other Safechuck guy?
Safechuck, I think his family, like his sister was in it, and I don't remember if all their parents were in it.
I think that would be a main storyline. Like, wow, my parents,
Well, they had Wade's mom.
Sold my butthole.
Mm-hmm. And she just kept going, I thought it was good for his career, and he really wanted this, and he was Peter Pan, the whole Peter Pan existence. And
yeah, they left. They pulled up stakes out of Australia, right? And moved out there just so he could be near this guy.
Yeah, they said one of them, I can't remember which one, flew out and moved in for 30 days. One of the maids said that. Like, yeah, Robson or Safechuck, one of them, just moved in for a month from wherever he was in the world. Yeah, dude, the hammer is coming down on these guys that have just gotten away with murder forever. These entertainers that have just done, I don't like that Nikki Sixx story you did yesterday. Where I might have been embellishing a little bit. Didn't really think she was fucking me, and I just slipped Tommy's dong into her vagina.
Oh, like, Nicholas. It calls the whole thing into question now. The dirt is up in the air, and as far as I'm concerned. I have no idea. Is it fact or fiction?
I know, and he did that to himself. And the fact is, I want my rock stars to tell their fucking sordid tales, and we live vicariously through them. I want to know who jammed a fucking mud shark into the vagina of a girl in a hotel. I want to know when Elvis Presley goes, sorry, mama, I need you to step out of the room for a minute, and pulls a gun and puts 5 bullet holes in his TV.
If I find or hear the individual that has said that about me, I will pull your goddamn tongue out of the roots.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm only going to ask you one time, Linda.
You should
step out of the room. And then puts 5 bullet holes in the TV, and then goes, tell the guys, tell Red I need to see him up here. His TV's broke.
Mike, I was saying
it's broke because you just shot it 5 times.
He did the same thing to his car. Remember, it wouldn't start.
Was it a Beretta or
Pantera?
Pantera. And they were going to take it out for a night. It was the car he bought her, the yellow Pantera, which is in a museum somewhere. And he says he can't start it. It's brand new. Because remember,
stand back, Linda.
Remember, he gave it to her as a gift, and then when the car got there, he was like, "Oh man, this is way too much car for you, sweetheart. You're not allowed to drive this." And then Linda, step out of the car.
Mike, I was gonna say.
Oh please, honey, no.
No, you don't, Elvis. Come on. Really, you don't have to do that.
She says, "We have a fleet of cars. Just take another one." But Linda, I'm only going to ask you one time. Step out of the way. And then pew 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 shoots 5 bullet holes, and those bullet holes are still in that fucking car at the museum today. Yeah, and then I think one of his team guys, like Red, hopped right in the car and started it up.
He didn't have the clutch in or some shit, probably, right?
Right.
I was gonna say you should explain to Brandon, that like Ryder Roots only because like he won't know that, but it's a fucking hilarious story. That is audio from him at a concert.
Was that in Vegas?
Yeah.
And you got to remember this time Elvis never traveled outside the country. He would go to Hawaii all the time because Red didn't have a visa. He couldn't get out of the country for some reason. So he never toured the world. Something happened, man, and Red would come over and go, Elvis, we don't need to go over there. Who needs to tour Europe? Let the Beatles handle that. We got Hawaii. And then he gets all into martial arts. He's doing karate on stage.
At this point, he's fully
Elvis.
Jumpsuited.
Yeah.
Picture Elvis in the full white jumpsuit. And this is way after his leather jacket cool. I'm a cool guy day. He's fat as fuck.
Yeah.
He's strung out.
He's high as shit. He's on Dilaudid and all kinds of stuff.
And he starts concerts by doing little kung fu acts and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there were some people, because he's fucked up. He's doing heroin. He's all fucked up. He's on Dilaudid and heroin. And people in the press are starting to talk, and it's like he's reading in the tabloids how Elvis Presley was strung out. By golly, Jack, I ain't never been strung out a day in my life. He's hammered on stage while he's delivering this. And
if I find or hear the individual that has said that about me, I will pull your goddamn tongue out of the roots. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. People heard that and they're clapping. And all these blue hairs.
Thank you very much.
Did Elvis just say he's going to pull someone's tongue out literally by the roots?
Some reporter.
You are strung out.
by God, Jack, I ain't never been strung out a day in my life. But Elvis was the ultimate rock star. Elvis would just pull a gun out in the bedroom and just start shooting. Shoot TVs out. He'd throw, this TV's broke. It's broke. That's my favorite thing. Dude, think about that. Linda, I'm going to need you to step out of the room. I'm only going to ask you one time, honey. Step out of the room. Okay, he goes, bow, 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 bow. Have Red bring another TV up here. This one's broke.
Look at him doing kung fu,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Look at him.
This is the king of rock and roll. Yeah, man, I was just doing it. I'm getting into it now.
And didn't his wife end up leaving him for the kung fu instructor? Wasn't that the case?
Oh,
not
Priscilla?
Yes, Priscilla did, I think.
Yeah, she left him for someone.
I think it was the kung fu instructor,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, Linda. God, I was listening back to part of that. I had to send some audio to some media people, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good one to send." That was a fun interview with her, and I was just listening to a few minutes of it, dude. It's so funny. Like, she still has like a shitload of jewelry,
Yeah.
and shit that he gave her. Like, he was every day be like, sweetheart, I got you this. It's 1,000,000 carats and diamonds.
Linda
like,
Thompson, man.
Yeah, it's a great book,
formidable
too.
years with Elvis, and then goes on to marry
dead name her.
Bruce Jenner. Bruce Jenner, 2 kids with Bruce Jenner.
Yep, Brody Jenner and the other one. Yeah. Dude, she was with David. What's his name?
Yes.
Now or after that?
Correct.
Dude, she went from Elvis Presley to
Bruce Jenner.
I hate to dead name her like
to
that.
David, what's his name? The big songwriter.
Dude, he's like a fucking.
God damn it! What's his name?
David
Fisher. Foster.
No, Foster. There you go. David Foster. What's he worth? $1 billion? I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how about that for a fucking triangle of dudes in your life? So, spinning that all the way around, R. Kelly's now going through this, and I don't know what to do with the R. Kelly story. Because these chicks are going, no, we're not being held hostage. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 21. She's 23. Fuck off. And to me, it's like, why are you even putting them on TV? Just whatever. They said they're not being abused. They say they're not. And so 2 of those young girlfriends went on with Gayle King on CBS again this morning. This is Jocelyn Savage, who's 23, and Azriel Clary, who's 21.
Are either of these the ones that he bought, quote unquote?
Yes.
They're both, yeah.
Yeah. And they said, they insisted that R. Kelly's management said R. Kelly will not be in the room. These girls can say anything they want. And R. Kelly was right around the corner, out of their view, going,
oh, God.
coughing loudly just to make his presence known. How hilarious is that? Azriel cried. She screamed, spoke down to Gayle King while being asked about her life with R. Kelly and accused her parents of pimping her out when she was underage to take pictures and sex videos with R. Kelly that they could later use to blackmail him. That's what she claims her parents did. When I was 17, my parents were making me try to take photos with him, sex videos with him. They said if they ever had to blackmail them, they could use these. Jocelyn said, yep, what she's saying is true, and added that both their families are only interested in money. And, Gayle King's pressing about the relationship. Sex stuff, and we're with him. That's our relationship. We live with him. You just said it. It's a very strong relationship. And then she's like, do you guys each have your own relationship with him? Is this a threesome thing? Like, what's going on here? She's like, both. So it's kind of like we have our own date night, and then we can get it on in the bedroom and as a threesome. We both have our individual relationships, and we're all a family together. We have our moments when we watch movies together and go to theme parks. She's like, Azriel, I'm not talking about watching movies or going to theme parks.
Azriel.
Yeah.
Isn't that the cat in Smurfs?
Absolutely.
Gargamel's cat.
Yes. Who can't catch a fucking little creature wandering around the woods to save his ass.
They're blue. They stick out. They're blue.
Find the mushrooms, Azriel. Sniff out the mushrooms and look for the little blue guys.
One of them wears a red hat.
Yeah.
For God's sakes.
Smurfette is hot as shit, too.
I came around on that. She really is.
We saw photos of her, and it was like, dude, I don't know. Because I don't know how old she is.
She was bearing her bosom in one, I think.
Yeah,
wow,
those skirt, that little white skirt. Didn't someone send us one? I swear to God, I could jack off to it.
Somebody sent us a topless Smurfette, yeah.
Yeah. No, there it is. E. It's right over there. Grab it, will you? I could jack off to this toy. Not even kidding. See it? Look at that.
That little minx. Look at
Jesus Christ.
Look at her.
Look at that. The little flower in the hair. Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead. You want to take it upstairs for a few minutes? Clean up your mess, all right?
No, I'll let you go first.
But she's banging.
I agree with you.
For real. I'd like to see her with like librarian glasses on,
Oh, yeah.
Do something like that. A little schoolgirl, Catholic schoolgirl outfit.
Plaid.
There you go.
Doesn't Azriel have a notch out of her ear?
Yeah, something like that. And Gargamel has that gross wart on his face with the hair coming out of it. Yeah. So anyways, so she's like, we have our moments, we watch movies. Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm asking about the sexual relationship at that. At that, the young woman becomes irate. She's like, sexually? Well, first of all, I'm not here to talk about my personal life, and I would never share with no one what I do in or outside of the bedroom. And as a woman, I'm sure you would not either.
I would never share with no one what I do.
Which means you would share with someone, right? If you won't share with no one, that means you would share with someone.
That's how I read it.
That's how I read it, too. She's getting cute with her words. Wool is being pulled. Elsewhere, she accused her parents of treating her like a fucking hoe, encouraging her to start this relationship with R. Kelly. She said that while they pushed her towards him, they did not have sex until she turned 18. So
that night, magical night.
Do you believe for a second?
No.
For a fucking second. R. Kelly's going, well, you know what? You're 17 and a half. In 6, just sleep on the couch. No, in 6 months.
Get your hands off me now. Come
Stop
on.
it. Get away.
No. Don't touch that.
Couch. Go. Couch bed. You know the rules. Counting down to her birthday, brings the cake out. He's just got his dick out while he's bringing the lit candles. Happy. Just blow on this while you blow these out.
Did you watch these young ladies on video?
You know what? I didn't.
I didn't either. I don't know how I missed this, but
yeah, I don't know. But think about this, dude. Like,
I just wonder how credible they came off.
It sounds like they were kind of irate and screaming and stand. They came off, I guess, kind of like R. Kelly came off the other day, which was not great. I think it's fair, right? Fair to say R. Kelly came off not great.
Yeah.
All right, can we stop blowing Gayle King? She sat there like a responsible interviewer should and ask questions. What's she supposed to do? Stand up and get in his face?
I know.
Did you expect that?
Yeah.
They're like, at any time, Gayle, were you afraid for your life? It's like, are you kidding me? This guy's sweating his balls off. He's standing up and yelling like a maniac. There's 100,000 people standing around there.
It's great TV.
Come on. Course.
It's the greatest thing that could have happened during this interview.
Of course. Stop blowing Gayle King for that. Let Oprah do that. Jesus. So, yeah, she says, Mom and Dad started to send threats to me and R. Kelly to say they would put all my naked pictures out there, which means they have her naked pictures, right?
It sounds like it.
Is that odd for parents to collect naked pictures of their young daughter?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, is that against the law or is that just creepy? I don't know what the rule is on that, but it sounds gross. Like the idea that my parents would
I think after a certain age, right? Well, after like 3 or baby photos, I think when they're into 17, 18, collecting their.
Yeah, I think we're all depicted in a bath photo somewhere in our parents' photo albums, right?
Dude, it creeps me out. I'm telling you, when I went and saw Marshall and he's like 3 and it's like, goes to take his bath and then he comes out.
He's doing the spread the cheeks, but
he's doing naked Marshall, and I'm like, "Fuck you, dude! Get away from me!"
Yeah, I don't want any part of that.
No, I blanketed myself just as some sort of cover, and then flipped up on his back and starts to spread his butt cheeks. I'm like, "No, dude,
that's quite a move."
Fuck, no,
that is savvy as hell.
Yeah, you are family, but get the fuck off, dude.
He did the spread the cheeks butthole.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's apparently it didn't shock anyone else in the room, so apparently it has happened before. And I was like, no, this whole fucking naked toddlers, but apparently that's a thing.
Whenever we did the bathroom shots of our kids, we did washcloth over the dude, you know?
You did?
Absolutely.
See, can't you just see that looks staged? Can't you just use like the rim of the bathtub to cover up the dong, like have them
Yeah, but when they're really little, they're in like a tabletop thing, you know? Their first bath and
like
stuff.
Like a bird bath?
And no, it's like I don't know. It's a little tub, little plastic tub that sits on your table.
What is the call? I get it with the dude. You can use whatever to kind of cover that up. What do you do with the titties on a girl?
Yeah, I think you just go ahead and expose those.
You do. That's
little breast
a little
buds.
flat at that point.
I don't like that. I don't care. I don't like this. I don't even like this conversation. It's giving me the willies. And this dad's got all these nude photos of his daughter. As bait
this is a weird story.
It is. If he doesn't put 20 grand into this bank account by Monday and another 10 grand to this one.
So there should be record of this, right? There should be emails or texts or something. Voicemails.
I don't know. I don't know how that was done.
How was this communicated?
I don't know. But that's what Azriel or whatever Jocelyn says. So that you'd get he would say that he would send threats. So I don't know what that means.
Some sort of communique.
I don't know if they were going telegraph.
Yeah, smoke signal would probably be the
safest.
Probably at this point.
I mean, what is it? Because you don't want to have a digital record of that discussion.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good to have, right? If you're R. Kelly.
Can you imagine if he could produce that?
It's just like, how about that?
How about that, Gayle King? Boom, checkmate. So yeah, if you don't do that, and she's like, you're trying to solicit me like some fucking hoe. I'm not. I'm your child. She also rejected the claim that she had not spoken to them for years, saying they knew where she's been the last 4 years and that she's well taken care of. And the other thing is, there was a lot of people that said R. Kelly wanted the way he was taking advantage initially with these people is they all wanted to be stars. They wanted to sing, and he would be like, "Oh man, recognize your talents. Come on to the studio."
Of course he did.
And they're like, neither of us wanted to be a fucking singer. Uh-huh. My parents wanted me to be a singer. I had no interest in being a singer. I almost committed suicide over it. And her father, Azriel's father, says, yeah, she did once try to kill herself, but it was because of a messy breakup with a boyfriend, not because I wanted her to sing. So one of these two, the truth probably lies somewhere in between.
Yeah, boy.
You know?
Sounds like I don't know. Sounds plausible that these two adult women could just want to be with R. Kelly.
Yeah. I found this interesting too. It's like both women said they're not sure what they want to do for work with their lives. And I'm like, well, banging R. Kelly seems to pay the bills. I mean, it's a pretty decent job if you get it.
I saw something like he has very little money left, right? There's
something
right? he couldn't come up with his bail. $100,000 I think.
Oh, yeah.
He had a lot of trouble putting that together. And then his first stop before he went home was to McDonald's. So I don't know that he's, rolling in that. I believe I can fly royalty.
Yeah, he's probably not getting the royalty checks that he once did from that. I don't know.
But all that good new music he's making.
Yeah, no, that's a problem too. That's really a problem. And the tours have kind of dried up as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how much merch is flying off the shelves these days. Is anyone buying an outside of ironic purchases? Is anyone buying an R. Kelly T-shirt?
Oh, man, maybe WJAY is needed.
We sell the merch. WJAY. You go to the merch section. It's not WJAY T-shirts, or it's very limited.
R. Kelly.
It's R. Kelly shit.
Gary Glitter.
Chris Brown, which is just like a jacked up Rihanna's face picture. That you can get that on a T-shirt exclusively at Detroit's only JAY. The J.
Yeah, I know it's not going to be up to date, but according to the celebrity net worth, $100,000.
Oh,
you can't.
Oh, R. period. R. period. What are you doing, sir?
I think there's
man,
dude,
and that's only because he made bail, right?
Dude, again, this is like
this probably check it 2 weeks ago. They're like, fuck, I don't know.
Right.
Why don't you look up? Does it say in there like, oh, by the way, 2 years ago he was worth $250 million? He had to be worth a fortune.
Yeah, let me see if it says it.
It's got to say in there like
at one point it said
you can't just lay $100,000 at R. Kelly's fucking name and then she's like, what? Yeah, that's what he's
worth. Had R. Kelly never experienced any legal problems, his net worth would easily top $150 to $200 million.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Boy,
$100,000's not bad though, dude.
Keep your hands off the 13-year-olds. It's all you got to do.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we saw the guy that likes to jack off in the kindergarten.
Yeah.
In the buses.
It's hard to resist. It's hard to resist.
He just can't stop crawling into school buses, time and time again. So R. Kelly would have been worth upwards of $200 million if not for his legal issues.
Yeah, these damn.
But dude, honestly, who in this room would not love to have $100,000 in their bank account? I know I would.
Yeah.
Good point.
Maybe it was worth it. Maybe it was worth it for him. They after the interview aired, Jocelyn's parents held a press conference. We watched it as a family. It's disturbing. It's emotionally disturbing for all of us. I want to not just pray for my daughter, but pray for Mr. Kelly to get some kind of healing. Anyway, poor guy. Not as bad as Alex Trebek though, Jay.
Oh, is this where you make a "what is" joke? What is pancreatic cancer?
I wasn't going to, but now that you mention it, what is pancreatic cancer?
It's cancer in the pancreatic.
Oh, Brandon. The disease that afflicts Alex Trebek?
Yeah. It's one that took down Swayze.
Is that right?
We lost
it's a quick killer, isn't it? It's a bad one.
It's a very bad one. The problem with pancreatic, it's kind of like the pit bull of the disease world. As far as like pit bulls don't give warning before they attack. That's why it's like your baby tugs on its tail and it goes, fuck!
Yeah.
And eats its face off.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go,
the pancreas similarly.
Yeah, there's no screening, and the pancreas lies in wait like a silent killer as it just gets more and more disease. And about stage 3, it goes, oh, by the way, there's a problem over here. We should have got this looked at a long time ago.
Full of cancer.
Yeah, I'm cancered up proper. And they're like, okay. At that point, it's already spread to other organs. So The best thing you can do is remove the pancreas, but unfortunately, it puked cancer all over all your other organs, and you can't remove everything. And so at that point, the best they can do is make you comfortable.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear that as like a,
No.
Doc, what are you prescribing?
Hospice sort of talk. Yeah, morphine and comfort.
Yeah, comfort.
Well,
for the remainder of time.
He says he intends to finish out the season, which ends in July. Yeah. Keep working through this, Trebek.
He says he's got 3 years left on his deal with Jeopardy.
Sure.
I thought Jeopardy was like one of those shows where like they record like a ton during the summer, and then they record them all throughout the
Wheel of Fortune definitely does that. Wheel of Fortune does, but I think Jeopardy might not be able to do that just because of the the returning nature of the contestant. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, that could. They definitely don't do that live.
Oh, sure, and they don't do one a day. I wouldn't.
They've got to do more than one a day. Yeah. They have to. Maybe you can Bing that and find out how many episodes of Jeopardy are recorded in a day. I would guess they do 2.
But you're right, Brandon. Wheel of Fortune, they do in like a 1 month period.
Yeah.
And then those 2 fuckers just go sit on an island.
Yeah, I think like Pat Sajak, like I heard it somewhere that he like only works for Wheel of Fortune like for a couple months of the year.
Awesome.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely.
He's done it for 35 years or some shit.
Look at Vanna White's net worth. You want to make yourself sick? Look what Vanna White is worth. She didn't even turn him anymore.
No.
Like at least she was risking carpal tunnel. Now she just like goes there and it glows and she just touches it.
Yeah.
It's the greatest gig ever. And what did they do right? They didn't fuck kids.
Yeah. No,
they didn't murder anyone.
Keep your hands off 13-year-olds.
They didn't say, these blacks need to stay in their lane.
They just
nothing wrong with the Confederate flag. Just don't say anything.
Spinning wheels.
My job is to spin the wheel. Go, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
Oh, no, that's not how you pronounce that. And she just has to spin the one that lights up. Yeah. It's a brainless gig. And
she doesn't even spin it. She just taps it, right? Isn't that a touch screen?
She must have fucked up somewhere, the spinny thing. They just like, we can't do this anymore. Can't do it. So anyways, Alex announced Wednesday he's been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I'm pretty satisfied with my life, but my wife Jean and I have been together almost 29 years. This is an interview he gave just a couple months ago to People Magazine. And his regret is that he didn't meet her earlier so they could have more time together.
Oh, man. Well, you could quit now and go spend time with Jean if it really means that much to you.
Dude,
but no, he's going to work through July. Okay, Trebek.
I know, right?
God, first the mustache. First you shave the mustache. Now this.
How are we supposed to take him
seriously? Dude,
he was on the verge of an American treasure.
He was.
And
even
once
he
shaved that stash, I know. Even as a Canuck.
By the way, 5 episodes are taped each day with 2 days of taping every other week.
Jesus,
not too bad.
2 days.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. It's not like they're running lines. So it's probably just like a half hour to record each.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone edits some shit down. It's like he's got to do his thing. Well, Bill comes to us from Pawpaw, Michigan.
Tell me about Pawpaw.
What are you doing, Pawpaw?
Well, Alex, wine. People make wine.
There's a lot of farmers around and stuff. It's pretty boring, but you gave me a lot of time to read books and encyclopedias. And
okay, Linda. Linda comes from us.
You've been married for a couple of years here. You got a couple of stepsons. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's true. They're playing hockey. It's great. They're really getting into that hockey.
All right, Phil. Up to Phil. God, yeah, that's so stupid and unnecessary, isn't it?
You sell used cars for a living, Phil. How's that going?
I do. Mostly used.
Hope I go on a little bit of a run here and tell that place to suck a dick because it blows. I sell used cars, Alex. So, yeah, really hoping these guys fall shit the bed here and I can make off with some loot. So, yeah, he's thinking he was really jealous of President. He was jealous of 41. He saw 41 with his gray-haired wife and was like, they got fucking 73 years together. Damn it, Jean and I are in 29. Wish I met her earlier. And then he's like, well, actually, if I met her when I was in my 20s, she wasn't born yet.
Oh, man. So, yeah. And he was just hitting puss for 40 years thereafter, right?
With that stash. I mean, come on. Easy. You're talking about Magnum PI days.
Yeah. Does he really regret those years without Jean? Does he really?
Even if you go, well, yeah, your wife was technically born. Now you're a baby raper. Right? If you hooked up with your wife and you want to get that, 60 years in, dude.
And as we just learned from the Jackson and R. Kelly stories, no, you don't want to mess with that.
I think Alex Trebek could probably get away with a small pedophile accusation and still I think
survive it.
I think his career could survive it.
Wow.
A small one.
That says a lot.
He stuck his hand in my diaper and diddled me a little bit when I was a baby. I think he could survive that.
God, is he
nothing getting aired on WJAY?
Yeah, don't do reruns of Jeopardy on WJAY. Come on, that's absurd, Brandon.
Jeopardy's on Netflix.
Well,
I mean,
WJAY is a fucking radio station.
Oh yeah, dude.
Christ.
Come on.
You wanted to expand
Brandon.
it? What do you want? Who is he? Fucking Roger Ailes? He's supposed to launch an empire now?
Maybe overnights or something. You know, he'd
Yeah,
throw on
maybe.
some Jeopardy episodes.
People
What-
listening to audio of Jeopardy on
Do we really, with the jingle, we all know what Double Jeopardy, you know, the Daily Double sounds like.
Yeah. You could do it.
I
Yeah.
think you could.
Yeah.
You'd miss out on his stash, obviously.
You couldn't see
Doesn't
the
have it
full
anymore.
board. You couldn't see the board with all the questions. But
When did he have the stash?
Oh my
like-
God! What?
Yeah,
What?
dude? It's a Hall of Fame stash.
You
I
don't
mean,
know Trebek with his stash? You're that young?
I'm too young for that.
Oh my God, man!
what year were you
It was a
born?
formidable
Like
stash.
2 years ago. How old are you?
Yeah, 2016
Uh,
or something? No, 99.
90.
Let's see it, Easus.
I hate
Pull him
you.
over.
Fuck out of here.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
No, whenever I see him now without it, it like hits me. Oh,
Yeah.
Trebek without a stash.
It's kind of his rebellious stage he's going through at 72 or whatever.
Yeah, can't. That's all I ever
Look
pictured.
at that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Huh? Kind of looks like Victor Kiriakis from Days of Our Lives. He
I don't even
does.
know who that is. I'll have to take your word for it. Yeah, that's a proper stash. When he shaved it too, it's like, whoa, what happened to the TV?
I know, dude.
Our
It was-
TV's broken.
Yeah.
It's broke. Set up a new TV, Linda. This one's broke. Can't see Trebek. I can't even see Trebek's stash. So yeah, so Gene said, let's see, they married in 1990. Gene said in January they were just friends for a while before it got romantic. She said to People magazine, there was just this deep sensitivity about him and a gruffy exterior. I kept thinking he's 24 years older than me, but there was something that just kept drawing me to him.
Something in his back pocket for some reason.
It was like, it's the bulge in his pants. You know, the one in the left butt pocket? I mean, right? Like, really?
course.
Do you have to go, what? I don't know what it was.
Mm.
Yes, there was a 24-year age difference between me and the garbage man, but there, just something drew me to him. That story doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't. It's
Ever.
the fame and fortune.
Young kids in love.
Star-crossed lovers.
Man, when Cupid decides to fire that arrow, oh, man. She got the best years of his stash, though.
Definitely, yeah.
You know? So, yeah, they said he's diagnosed with stage 4. Do we have his cut?
I mean,
what he
yeah,
said?
just something, you know, here you
Is
go.
it better if I just read it?
Oh, I have it, but I was just pointing this out. $50 million, you know, for a game show host. Just, I don't know what it is she saw in him, you know?
That's not impressive.
Yeah, but it is
His
for a
salary is $10 million.
Yeah.
For a game
He's
show.
been doing
would've
this more
thought-
than
yeah, I
5
would have thought
years.
he'd have ownership in the show, but
Yeah, we got to keep a good eye on that old Gene.
God, he looks damn good without the stash. So now
He
that I look
does.
at him,
Yeah.
what a fine.
Get your
looking
looks
man.
in now, Jay.
Yeah,
Get your looks in
it's
now.
gonna be rotten pretty soon.
Hi, everyone. I have some news to share with all of you, and it's in keeping with my longtime policy of being open and transparent with our Jeopardy fan base. I also wanted to prevent you from reading or hearing some
Hold on. Keep it going for just a second. Reading.
overblown or inaccurate reports regarding my health.
Pause
so
it.
therefore,
So if you got to that point, before he said regarding my health, he's like, I just want to be open and honest, say something here.
You're thinking me too. That's what I'm thinking.
Before this gets overblown in the
Yeah.
press and you start hearing rumors and stories, you're going, oh,
You
yeah.
son of a bitch.
Oh, who did he
about-
finger?
I'm gonna hear about you
What
in
was
a
under that little desk?
terry cloth robe somewhere,
Oh my God.
thigh high.
You answered the door fucking naked and hard,
Yep,
didn't you?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
And he
I
goes regarding my health, and you go,
Oh,
thank God.
Thank God he's just dying. I could not handle it if this American treasure was diddling people.
That's a great point, dude.
What a great looking guy, though. How old
Yeah.
is he?
I think he's like 73 or 4.
Yeah.
For a guy with stage 4 pancreatic, looks
Yeah.
great.
And his age?
Yeah.
Gene is 54. He's 78.
Holy shit. He's
I know.
almost 80?
He's stunning, dude.
Good
He's
for him,
an
man.
Absolutely gorgeous man. Go ahead.
Okay, ready?
I wanted to be the one to pass along this information. Now, just like 50,000 other people in the United States each
Or
year,
falsely accused.
this week I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Now, normally the prognosis for this is not very
And
encouraging.
it will be this time as
but
well.
I'm going to fight this, and I'm going to keep working, and with the love and support of my family and friends, and with the help of your prayers also,
Oh, thank God. Now I'm
I
involved?
plan to
Yeah,
beat
making me work.
the low survival rate
give him some
statistics
thoughts, but
for
Jesus
this
Christ.
disease.
Homework on my end?
Truth told, I have to, because under the terms of my contract, I have to host Jeopardy for 3 more years.
You're gonna hold it.
You know what? If you're gonna deliver that line, you do it in front of a live studio audience. You do not do it on tape.
Get it done.
He needed a fucking laugh line there. Laugh track or something.
The guys at
Can
Jeopardy?
you give me a laugh track? You can see if we can sync that up really quick and properly land that joke.
Here, I'll give you a laugh track.
Oh, shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you go. Back it up to when he says, I can't. I've got 3 years left on my contract with Jeopardy.
Kind of guessing here.
All right.
I plan to beat the low survival rate statistics for this disease. Truth told, I have to, because under the terms of my contract, I have to host Jeopardy for 3 more years. So help me. Keep the faith, and you'll win. You'll get it done.
It just works better, doesn't it?
Yes.
Can you imagine the people at Jeopardy?
It's just so bad. It's like crickets would have been better there.
Yeah.
I have to, because I have 3 years left on my Jeopardy contract.
The people at Jeopardy are like, look, I know you got this cancer and shit, but you got 3 years on this contract, Rebecca. we have to haul your corpse up there to answer the questions.
Propped up in the background.
Right.
They're already filing papers with the local courts. So help me, we will take you down and take you down to Shining. We will take everything you're worth, including your mustache.
Man, poor guy. So does he make it? Does he make it to July? You think?
Well, here's the deal. You know,
they may want to do more than twice a week for the rest of the season.
Did he step up his workload because he got to fulfill his contract?
This is what took down the great Joan Crawford.
Uh-huh.
I bet you don't remember this, but one of your favorites, Jay, Luciano Pavarotti.
Absolutely,
was also taken down, and as I mentioned, the Sways. There's no screening method for this disease, so you just kind of have to feel it.
So even a finger up the butthole does nothing.
No. Help the prostate, but not doing much for the pancreatic. I believe you called it, Brandon. The pancreatic. So sufferers tend to start developing signs around stage 3 or 4 when it's already spread. The 1-year survival rate is 20%.
Okay.
At 5 years, that rate falls to 9%. For a pancreatic cancer in its 3rd stage, only 3% of people will survive another 5 years. Stage 4, where he is, the 5-year survival rate falls to just 1%.
What's the 1 year for stage 4? Can't imagine it's more than 5%, right? He's fucked.
Yeah.
We're losing Trebek, Mike.
I know, he's talking a good game, and God bless him for that, but
God, he looks good, though.
I know.
Man.
Yeah. There was something in the speech pattern, though. Something's off of that gate. Yes. Yeah, you can hear it. They said he's immediately going to be undergoing chemo. Something in his speech pattern didn't sound right. It kind of had that, like, did you get dentures over the weekend?
Really?
Rattling
you notice that?
Yeah,
Wow.
I noticed something off there. Yeah, there's something. So I don't know what's going on, but.
Hey, the Ides of March, they are smiling down, and that means Gabara and the lovely leprechauns at Zott Ford and Holly are sharing their pot of gold with all of our lucky listeners. Lease a new 19 Ford all-wheel drive Escape or new 19 Ford EcoSport as low as $82 a month. Yup, $82. Or lease a new 19 Ford Edge or new 19 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4x4 as low as $97 a month. I did say $97. Zott Ford keeps the green in your pocket. Take advantage of these charming payments before they disappear.
I'm going over to see him today. I told Zott.
You want one of those $97 ones?
Dude,
grab me one if you can as well.
Figure out the absolute greatest payment.
Tow a couple home for us.
I will.
A round of $97 cars on the house.
I told him, get the world's greatest detail as far as price. You find the world's greatest price you can get on one of these things. Cut it in half, and I'll see you in a couple hours. And so that's where we're at now in our negotiations. Why don't we take a quick time out? It's Easter's big day.
Sure is.
He's got to do some history. It's not like he's getting off the hook with work, but it is his birthday. Happy birthday, Isis. And we'll come back and do that. And then we've got a female that set a new deadlift record. Spectacular.
A quote-unquote female.
Yeah. Smashed the previous record. So we'll mention that as well. Next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right. Welcome back to the show. We'll get to East history in just a moment. But first, we'll hear from WJAY.
Hey, now's the time to contact realtor Doug Steinert. Call him at 248-765-1781. He and the team at Century 21 Campbell will work to get you the absolute best deal on the sale and or purchase of your home. Doug's the man. He's easy to work with and a great friend of the show. So call Douglas today, 248-765-1781.
Douglas! All right, Isis, we're running out of showtime, and I almost forgot. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. And it's also this day in history. So, without further delay.
Oh, so you want me to... Well, I'm not going to need the music, actually, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
Something different today.
Hey, this is your bit.
This is, it is March 7th. My birthday was March 7th.
Yeah.
You're not going to do your birthday as history. Oh, my. You egotistical son of a bitch.
I like it.
So,
I want to
look
at that poop.
He's a cute.
Look at that poops.
He's a cute at Bo Ricks. Look at him.
This is
That's Isis?
Just me getting my hair was blonde still for a little bit. You know what I mean? I came out blonde.
Does everybody in the room agree he's a cute kid?
He's a cute.
Look what happened, right?
Poops. Look at those chicks' cheeks.
I know.
So this is getting my first haircut.
However, you do see the dark, soulless eyes, though, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're there.
Like a shark.
But what I figured that I could do, I have a few images here, but who would be better to describe the history of me than my mother? You know what I mean?
Oh no, are you gonna let us call Fran?
I'm going to allow you to call my mother and ask her about my history.
The day you fell out of her vagina.
Right. So she's going to do kind of the legwork here, unfortunately. So you have her number, right, Mike?
I do. Of course I do.
Yeah.
My little Franny Fran. Of course.
Please be good.
Please be good. Talking to me or Fran?
Both of you. All of you.
Has she been on with us before?
Not live on the show. Not on the actual show.
This is the first time?
Live on the actual
show.
Why
are we getting birthday presents?
Hey.
Hi, Mrs. Fady.
Franny Fran?
Hey, you know what? You're supposed to call my other number.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I meant to tell you to call the home phone. It's already working. Wow. It's working right now.
I'm not going through that. That's just too complicated. Unless you want to give the number out on the air.
No, I texted it to you, Eric.
I know the home phone number. I just don't.
Okay, never mind. Okay, whatever. We can do it here.
What's going on? Why are you being a prima donna? Your phone sounds fine.
It's working. Just go with it.
Oh. Well, I sometimes can't hear you as well. So.
Oh, well, Mrs. Fady, we can hear you, and I got to tell you,
getting old. You know what I mean?
You sound hot as hell.
Yeah, she does. Doesn't she? Kind of have a sultry, sexy voice.
What are you wearing right now?
Pardon me?
What are you wearing?
What have to do with my history?
Oh, you know what? I have a first question for you. Are you going to be nice to me today?
Yeah, yes, Mrs. Fady, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
no bullying today. No.
She texted me my own home phone number to say call this number. Like I know the number.
Yep. The Fadys are all alike. They're all. You can tell they're related.
Well, she knows you, Isis.
No, Fran, we're not going to bully you. We might flirt with you a little bit. If you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
Well, no, I mean, I just always have to be kind of cautious that I don't get into a trap.
No. We want to hear about the day that Isis was born, because today
fell out of you.
It's this day in history with Big E, and today he's in an egotistical way making it about him. But hey, man, tell us about that lovely, beautiful, I assume, great day. That
take us to the beginning when you were like, oh my God, I think my water broke. Was it like sunny day?
Okay, actually, yeah, I wish I could hear you better, but
do you want to call her on the other line?
Actually, we had to have induced
We'll call it Fran.
Fran,
you're gonna use this to not answer questions properly. So I'm gonna have Isis call you on the other line.
Okay.
So you can
I'm trying.
hear us. Yep.
You're gonna call me on the other line?
Yep. Hold on.
Yeah, she's gonna do the Trump David Duke question.
Yeah, I didn't
hear anything.
All right, she hung up. That's a good first step. That's a proper line of questioning, right?
Of course.
You know, her water breaks. I think we start from water breakage.
I want to know if it was filmed, and if it is, I'm a visual learner. I want that shit pulled up.
Oh, if Mike brought in a big giant camcorder in 19. Hi, Fran?
Yes.
Hi, Mrs. Fady.
You know what? This still is a little bad, but
I'll go and hear the questions.
Oh, Francis.
Yeah, you're not ducking the questions like that. We're not going to go that easy. At this point, your water is broken. We're wondering, is it a sunny day, beautiful? Is it middle of the night?
No. You know what? It was scheduled. I went in for induced labor.
Oh.
Because he was a week late. He was supposed to be March 1st.
He didn't want to come out.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he's on time all the time now. Yeah. He knew his first day on Earth was he was a week late.
You know, which was bullshit, by the way, because what I was told is I was. Oh, sorry, Mom. I was told that I was on a leap year. I could have been born on a leap day.
Wow.
Yeah. So you'd be like 6
And then, now I hear these lawyers talking about the powerful drugs they used for inducing labor, which was not talked about then for years. So.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what happened to him?
Were the side effects like soulless eyes?
I don't know. There's, who knows?
Yeah.
Well, let's
Too bad Jay wasn't around then with his lawyer fees.
Stop, blah, blah, blah.
Francis, if we could, if I may, I'd like to back up maybe 9 months or so. Did it?
Okay, no. Okay, go ahead. What?
Yeah, tell us about the night of conception.
Did you know, or was it just it was going on so often it was like sometime in this week?
Wait, what I'm sorry, I just couldn't hear that quite.
Sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to back up about 9 months. Okay, 9 months and a week. It sounds like. What was going on with you and Mike? Did you target a certain night? Wearing a certain frilly little gown. What was going on? You trying to get pregnant, or was it just?
No, I have no recollection.
Were you guys trying to get pregnant at the time?
I have. No. We were very pleased.
You were very pleased. No recollection. Right. Like Mike was crushing so big time, it just jogged your memory was just like it's blurry. I don't even remember. So
you know what?
Oh, God.
See, you're supposed to be nice to me.
We are.
We're just trying to
interview.
We're just trying to cover the appropriate ground.
You're supposed to ask me nice, simple
Well, it's about my
questions.
history, though, Mom. To be fair.
No, we were just wondering if you guys were on a honeymoon or something, or a vacation, or just at the house.
No,
I'm not going to ask you if it's Mike's.
Yeah, that'd be
rude.
It is. We've seen Mike. He looks just like Eric.
I have no idea. I have no recollection.
Yeah, it was just jackrabbits. They were going at it all the time. Right. How could you pinpoint a day? Anywho, so you're in the hospital and Eric comes out and so what did you had induced labor. Now, does that mean it comes out the belly or the other one?
No, that's not a cesarean. That would be cesarean.
Oh, cesarean.
No, it was a regular birth. It was just that they had to give me powerful drugs to induce the labor.
Yeah.
Regular's relative.
And then, he had the cord wrapped around his neck.
Yes, talk about that, huh? Nature tried to take him out right off the bat.
Yep.
Right.
I'm a fighter.
But did he tell you about the Mr. T that was at Henry Ford the night he was born?
Mr. T was there when he was born?
Correct.
The
he
actual
was somewhere
Mr.
in there.
T?
I didn't see him, but I felt like the nurses and everybody were so distracted by this star that was there.
Hold on a second. Why are we just learning right now?
I didn't even know this, dude.
The day he was born, in the hospital, you could hear down the hallway, "I pity the fool. I pity the fool." Are you shitting me right now, Fran? How come that we don't know this already?
I don't know. He knew. He knew. I think he knew about it. I don't know if you remember the exact name because he wasn't in his wheelhouse later. Although I did look him up. I did look him up today, and I realized that he was actually on the first WrestleMania. He did wrestling, so that was cool. But no, the nurses were all, there was this big buzz about Mr. T being there. So I don't know if they were distracted, It's like they're not coming in as often, whatever. So
right. Now
anyway.
He wasn't there for E's birth, right? Like you and T didn't go way back or something.
No, he was, well, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe he heard he was going to be born, and so he showed up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like the wise men to the name.
He heard I was there. He came to see me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That he did.
Fran,
he didn't come into the room. That I will tell you.
I just want full picture of this, so we have complete context here. So
She's in stirrups.
It's induced. You're in stirrups. Do you have any drugs? Do you have the epidural?
Oh, epidural.
Or do you just force them out? Without any
I don't
drugs.
remember. I don't remember that. I was drugged up.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Drugged up proper.
Yeah.
Now, describe your first feeling when this kid emerges. Was it sheer terror or deep regret?
Well, I thought he was supposed to look like me, but he had dark hair. He looked like his dad, but I thought he should have looked like me.
So he looked more like Mr. T than anything.
Right.
Dark hair. Yeah. So how long did it take? How long were you pushing and just like get this thing out of my vagina? How long were you like? Was it because those things can take forever, right, Jay? Like, upwards of 2 days.
Mrs. Fady to tag along with that.
No. Well, because I had the drugs, but it was like all day, pretty much.
I am a visual learner.
He was born at like 10 at night.
I'm a visual learner.
10:18, I think.
Okay, got it. Yep.
I would like any sort of picture or video that Mike has. Could he send that over right now?
Yeah, do you have a big handheld camcorder or anything?
One
like
of those
that?
big ones.
No, there was no video. No video.
That you'll share, but the video exists.
No, there was no video. We didn't have a video of it. a few pictures, which I would not share, but no video. No video.
Really? He snapped pictures of the whole of the emergence?
We didn't think about it. You didn't have the camera on the phone, and people didn't take video.
But you're saying that Mike snapped some pictures of you in stirrups and
crowning
that thing emerging.
No. Just after.
If you did, would you share it with us? I bet you wouldn't. If it was just like, oh, I see his head, and then he grabs his Polaroid camera, snaps a couple shots, we wouldn't be able to see it, would we?
It's just nature.
Yep.
No, he did not take any at the exact first. No. Okay. He was probably in shock himself, so it was, you know. And again, I was all drugged up, so I have no idea.
We get it. You love the drugs. Did it hurt? Do you remember it hurting a lot?
Well, it's a good excuse here.
Yeah, I know, right? Drugs are bailing you out of a lot of this line of questioning. Yeah, I know all about this. I've taken my fair share of drugs, so.
Right. Well, these were provided by the hospital.
So are mine. Yeah, we're all on the pharmaceuticals. I get it.
Fran, you probably didn't crush them up and snort them, but whatever.
Maybe she did.
Yeah. So talk about the umbilical cord. You referenced that being around his neck. What went on there? Did
that happen in the womb, or did you do it yourself by hand?
Well, that's where I just remember them saying they had to, be careful, and I think they probably had to unwrap it. I don't know. Again, I was just the first time for me. I don't know anything. You're trusting them. You hope they come out alive. So,
So when he emerged, then
fairly calm. He was in intensive care for a few days.
Well, obviously, you almost choked him out. Right. So did they get to that umbilical cord quick, or did he come out? Did you go, oh my God, I birthed a Smurf?
No. They saw it. I didn't. I never saw it.
Yeah.
I just heard about it.
So is the cord to blame for all this?
Are we going to go beyond the birth? Is this
well, we just
the only thing we're going to
kind of stuck on a few items,
I actually went through some pictures yesterday and sent them with Eric.
Yeah.
So
we're looking at some of them.
I appreciate that. I am a visual learner, and he is a cute little kid.
He's a very cute little guy.
There's no question.
Hey, you see the one where he had a little microphone? I don't know if you realize it was a microphone, and there was a little barn.
Oh,
that was on his third birthday.
Hold on, that one looks like which one lost half his face to cancer? Was it Siskel or Ebert?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Was it Gene Siskel?
Okay.
The fat one lost his. That other picture, put that one up. E's favorite. That looks like Gene Siskel or Roger Ebert at the. I think it's Roger Ebert. The bottom lip is reminding me of that.
It's me doing my Ghostbusters thing.
The one where he's holding the.
Pull up a picture of Roger.
The yellow thing to his head.
Ebert.
I'll do it.
At what point does he start to look awkward and gangly? Because he's a cute little. What is he? 5 there?
I know. Well, the typical middle school thing. I think that. Unfortunately, yeah. But then, he grew out of it.
He was going through some changes.
Right. Yeah, he was a very cute kid, and they had a little gangly period.
I guess.
Pull up the lip picture, Isis.
Mike's stuck on the. Is it Roger Ebert?
Yeah, it's Roger Ebert.
Anyway, the one with where he's holding the yellow thing. That was his third birthday, and I realized after he left that was his first microphone. Because that was a microphone recorder.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't see it in the lip, guys.
Sure. The lip.
Brandon, look at this.
Other than the lip, though, Mike.
No, it's just the lip. It's just the jaw lip area. That's all.
It looks very accurate.
You got the Ghostbuster one?
Yeah, that's the one we're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, well, I have a story about that one. That was they were very into the Ghostbusters, so we had the Ghostbuster house, the fire station, something, this big, tall Ghostbuster house, this Ghostbuster slime thing, the Ghostbuster trap.
Okay, get to the
Lots of moving parts in the Ghostbusters. Does he have the car though? The Hearst.
Just get to the point. I know where you're going with this, and just get to the point.
You're right. I think we still have a few of those things.
Doesn't matter.
But anyway, one day these Jehovah Witnesses came to the door.
Oh boy.
And I didn't realize that him and Brian, they kind of must have went on their bellies or something and snuck up and put this, what they called the Ghostbuster trap, at the door by my feet. And then later I found out they thought they were going to trap these Jehovah Witnesses ghosts into the Ghostbuster trap.
What was Prince?
Peter Braveheart.
Peter Bravestrong.
Bravestrong.
Could you imagine if he, in his Ghostbuster days, trapped Peter Bravestone?
Wow, what a story!
Oh, amazing. So, are you? Here we are, 35 years later. I can't believe time has gone by that fast. Are we happy with the decision you and Mike made that fateful day 9 months before today?
Be honest, Mrs. Fady. Be honest.
Oh, absolutely. He's a gem.
He is a gem.
Did he tell you about his weekend in New York at all?
She doesn't know about what happened. So.
He just gave me the good stuff. I don't know.
No, he didn't give you the best stuff.
It might remind you of the early days of E. Pooping his pants, etc.
Right. Well, actually, I might have heard a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you listen. I know.
And I was wondering why a lawyer in the House did not think about the harassment and
assault too.
That's assault, bro.
No, it's someone has a physical problem,
arguably a
and then there's a lawyer. You think the first thing they would think of is that they're harassing.
No,
the
I'm
poor
thinking
person.
this guy he tried to go downstairs to poo instead of pooing in his own room. That's what I'm
he
thinking.
wouldn't know that.
And I'm thinking that is insane.
How would he know that? And what if he's just on his way down? And who cares?
Well,
I mean, he had a problem.
He's got the runs because he's been eating stuff off of New York floors all weekend.
You know what?
Doesn't
I'm
matter
really
how we got there.
Any normal lawyer, you must take off your lawyer hat when you come in the door because
Thank you.
Any lawyer would say that's harassment.
That's right. It is because the guy put his hand on him and said, "What is wrong with your guest? He's shitting on the floor in the lobby."
Eric was obviously distressed.
He was
distraught, apologetic, and this guy is just, harassing him.
Mrs. Fady, the security guard was told that he had pooed on the floor twice. The lobby
But he didn't give me a chance to explain.
He sees him kicking poo into the corner.
He didn't see that, and he didn't give me a chance to explain.
Mrs. Fady,
to me, they were harassing.
I agree. Always defending her little boy. That's good.
Yeah,
Mama Bear.
Yep. Mom will always love you, no matter what.
No matter what. This is
no matter
what.
Yeah. But the thing I can't get my head around is the kicking it. Why? Like when he kicked it, he lost me there.
Trying to hide it. Man.
Well, it was such a little amount, and I had so much more coming down that I just was trying to move it out of the way and take care of this in 5 minutes when I'm back.
Were you going to circle back and take care of it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm actually shocked that a hotel wouldn't have had more training to treat people. First find out.
I think we're getting a glimpse into why and how it is that Eric lives in his basement still as a 36-year-old man.
Fine. She doesn't want him to go.
I'm wondering, maybe there's a problem. He should, but this hotel was terrible.
Well, has anything like that ever happened to you, Mrs. Fady?
Moving on.
Has anything like that ever happened to you? Find yourself like, oh my God, I can't find a bathroom, and what do we do? Because it's humans.
I'm not going to embarrass myself, so I'm not going to say.
So we'll take that as a yes, because otherwise you would say, no, of course not. I'm a grown-ass woman. So Fran just basically admitted to shitting in the family. Yeah, it definitely runs in the family.
Anyway, is there any other pictures that you want to ask me a question about?
Maybe. What do we got, E?
You asked about awkwardness, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking at a separate picture of him pooping on Mike's driveway. Yeah, I want to ask you about that.
No, here's when he's playing hoops.
Make up pictures if you want.
Here's Biggie playing hoops.
He was wearing rec specs, donning the number 4 for the Flames. I think that is.
Yeah, he's the Flames. He's a flamer.
Here, I'll do this, dude. This is for my own embarrassment.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Here, I'll show. I showed this for my own embarrassment. If you look at my scowl as we're on a family trip.
Which one are you?
The one on the right.
Who's on the left?
My brother.
That's not Brian.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So, Mrs. Fady, do you remember Eric?
What picture are you looking at?
We're in Boston, and I have a terrible look on my face, a very bratty look on my face.
Oh, okay.
That we've heard a little bit about this. Him being a brat on trips. Is that kind of how you remember it too? He was always, I want to eat here, I want to eat there, and just always
bring
angry.
up the station wagon stuff.
Yeah, I won't even
ask for a van. I think he takes a little after my husband, where like if they're hungry or tired, they can be cranky. Hungry or tired. Like never. Now, actually, Eric is better with the being. He can be up long hours, as you saw with that, the whole marathon with the tent thing. But like my husband, God forbid there's an emergency at 2 or 3 in the morning because he's worthless.
Yeah, he's like, Fran, handle it yourself. I'm getting my beauty sleep. Beat it.
I'm on my own if there's any problem late at night.
I get it. I'm on Team Mike on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So anything else you remember from the day or the early years of E? I mean, he went to 2 8th grades. Then there was the thing where he
the bucket where he almost drowned in the bucket of paint
bucket. Yeah. Also, there's so much here to unravel. There was the wasn't there when she sent him to some weird school where he went outside all day and just Montessori.
Oh, right, the Montessori. Yeah. Well, he went, in 4th grade. I had to take him out because public school was not, working. And then because then actually they had this whole thing called Think About. I think I've talked about it. Anyway, so then he went to the Montessori, but they only went a few years. So then he had to change, and I did not feel it was ready to go into the public. So we went to the Child of Christ Lutheran. And then to the public. And I said, if he had been in that Lutheran school the whole time, I think it'd have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Because they
failed him.
Traditional.
The schools failed him. As far as I can tell in his educational history, the only time that he was not failed.
Fail.
No, I know. But the only
they failed him.
They failed him. He didn't fail. They failed him.
I chose.
I know you had the best interests of him at heart, but he was the only thing I can think of though that I go, he was getting a proper education and the system wasn't failing him is the time he was homeschooled. And I don't know why you didn't keep that going.
What, the homeschool?
Yeah, that must have been a lot of fun, huh? Pretty productive.
I realized that I was not good enough. No.
Yeah. Welcome to our world. Yeah, this is what we have to deal with.
Anyway,
how was that conversation when you went? What was the conversation like when you went back to the Montessori after you'd taken me out there 6 months ago?
They just went, told you. Good luck. No.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Did you leave him at the door and run?
When she went through 8th grade or 7th grade, her middle school years or whatever, and then I mentioned something about that whole whatever their program was. I can't remember what the name was now. One of it was Think About. It was something else, and I said whole language. So what happened to this whole language thing? Oh, we found out that didn't work. Well, I'm going, okay, great, because my son went through that, and now you're admitting what I was telling you all along. It didn't
Everybody's
work.
failed him.
Yeah, it's poor kid.
I mean, some kids, of course, if they're geniuses, they can learn, but other kids, it really hurt them.
Well, we've learned that Jesus is actually right there, borderline genius, because we gave him.
Oh yeah, I did hear that. Yeah. They screwed him up.
Yeah, and so hearing all this now, it's just disturbing. You ever thought about bringing suit against the public schools there of Milford?
No, but at that hotel in New York, I am.
Yeah.
I'm not stuck on that.
God.
But I do have one story that I don't know if Eric would
by all means
like, but I thought it was good.
Does it involve the Astrovan? Please say it involves the Astrovan.
The Red Wings were and with Darren McCarty, the Red Wings were just a huge part of his life for a number of years. And so I had to take them to the parades, every time.
Sure.
The first parade, I remember it was very hot, and there was.
I know where you're going with this. Please get to the point.
I remember it as being hot too. Okay. Settle down. Your mom's doing great.
Right, and you could have sold water for like $100 because
Absolutely.
People were jumping over things to get to water. But anyway, the next one that I remember we went to, and we were by the Hart
Plaza.
The fountain in Hart Plaza.
Hart Plaza.
Yeah.
And there was this hyper and rambunctious, like 13 or 14-year-old boy who came running, and he wanted to get up in the fountain, so people pulled him up, and then after he'd been there a few minutes, he decided he wanted to get down. So he's trying to get down, and of course he comes right where we are, right where Eric is. I think Eric and his friend, and so they're trying to help him down, and he ends up falling and laying on the ground. Everybody's panicking. I'm panicking.
Mom,
so I run out to get the police. And when I come back, I hear on the speakers, would so-and-so's parents report to such and such? I'm going, oh, my God. And we get there, and here's already the EMS, the police there. And they're asking Eric, like, what's his name and phone number? And I was like, oh, my God, what did he give that to them for?
So what happened? Did you get what happened there?
Yeah, you didn't catch the kid. You should have caught the kid. You failed.
The police made everyone come down from the fountain. So just a few years ago, it happened. We have the old videotape of the thing, and I was watching
there's video of this?
It's just amazing how at first part of it you see all these people up there in the fountain, then all of a sudden they go back to it and no one's up there, and that was after that happened.
Wow. I didn't really follow that, I'll be honest with you.
I know.
Was he supposed to catch the kid and he failed? Is that the moral of the story? You
no,
failed again?
This kid was just this rambunctious kid.
Mom, this story is just not that big of a deal. I'm sorry. Like, there's so much stuff in my life that you could say. And
you've heard some of the stuff he's done in his life, right? He lit his on fire.
What's that?
Mom,
Nothing.
My point was there's so much stuff, stories. I don't know why. I told you this morning that I just didn't think this story was going to resonate. It's not. I'm not that young in it.
Yeah.
It's just not
that good. It was a long
okay,
story.
I'm sorry.
Quite well told.
Okay,
but,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was just I know. It's only because I saw that tape again a few years ago that it just struck me how there was nobody
Maybe
on
we
it.
could review the tape off air. And
yeah.
Right.
She's
like me, man.
We're visual learners. We've said it many, many times without seeing.
She's like me
and being able
that she's
to watch.
Stubborn. I told her this morning. I'm like, that story is just not gonna.
Well, she's not gonna tell the Chicago hooker story. I mean, what do you expect her to say?
Okay.
You know.
Fine. Well, anyway.
I remember being at that parade too, and you know what I saw? I didn't see some kid drop another kid in a fountain, but what I did see, there was a woman sitting there, and she just pulled her titty out and started milking her, feeding her child. And I was torn because it was like, I'm not supposed to look at it, but I want to look at it because of what's out. That was that parade for me.
Speaking of that.
So that's what you remember about the Red Wings parade, then?
Yes.
Speaking of breastfeeding, how was Eric as a breastfeeder?
Oh, great question. Was he a biter?
Did he latch on
Was
properly?
he a nibbler?
Did you feel like he was doing it? Did you feel like he was going for a little bit too much?
I've already embarrassed him enough. So I'm not
just answer the question.
Were you troubled by how his hand would come up to the second breast, the second teat, and try and kind of stroke?
When he got done with the first one, he'd pass over and he'd just go.
Was it troubling at all?
Is this Jay or Mike talking? I'm having a hard time.
It's Jay.
Jay, okay. What is your mother's phone number? Does I have her number?
Yeah, we can call her. Did he ever once just?
You know,
did you ever think once, Fran? Like I think he just went.
We ask other people questions, but we don't get to ask those people questions. You know, so I would like to interview your mother.
Okay.
For your podcast, Mom, or what? For your own podcast?
Yeah, we'll get Cheryl on the phone. I talked to my mom about cock rings on the air once, not long ago.
You talked to her about what?
Cock rings. You know cock rings?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's for extended life. It's for extended.
To his mother.
No. Mike talked to his mom about his.
Again, give me her phone number, and I'll verify that. My whole thing is trust.
It was
verify.
on the air. What were they called? Rock hard cock rings, and there was a pack of 3. They were beaded for her pleasure.
Longer life.
Well, I feel just as sorry for her then. I do. I really have empathy for her.
Well, I asked her if she saw them in my cabinet, and she did, and it was horrifying. One of them goes like to the base. One of them goes around the bag and the base. Like there were 3 different sizes. It's a whole thing. But yeah, she talked about that on the air.
You actually have your mother that you called on the air and asked her this.
Yeah, I can't believe you missed this episode.
What episode was that? What episode was that?
I'll find it.
He can look it up for you. And I'll tell you this. My mom didn't know we were calling. Called her blind and said, "Did you see my cock rings?" And she was like, "Yeah, I did." And I had to explain to her that they weren't really mine, but there was one missing, so that was hard to explain. Like it was a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's why I feel it's appropriate to go.
I still want Jay's mother's phone number.
No, I'll give you.
Like to ask him.
I'll give you that. Jay just walked out the door. He was disgusted with this conversation. Actually, no, he had to go.
Kidding.
No, he had to leave. He was in such a rush. He's like, we got to.
Yeah, right.
I'm
he
dead
couldn't
serious.
have time to leave his mother's phone number. Right.
I'll give you his mom's phone number. Okay, good. But that's why, Fran, I feel it's appropriate line of question to go. Was he a solid latch? Was he a nibbler or a biter? That's all I want to know.
I don't know. I think he used the bottle, truthfully.
You didn't give him a teat?
You know what? I don't recall. It's been 35 years. My mind is just.
You would not forget nursing your firstborn,
and I've already
Fran.
spoken about one that I shouldn't have, so I have to just shut up now.
Isis, are you properly humiliated?
Yeah, I think so.
I think this went well.
Yeah.
I think this went well.
Day in history.
Fran, did you have fun?
I don't know.
No, you're fine.
I think you did fantastic. Okay. Are you taking our young boy out for dinner tonight?
Probably. Yeah, we'll probably go out.
Do you know you guys don't have a place you go every year?
I actually know where I want to go, but I don't know the name of it.
I don't know who.
I want to go to that Italian place in Milford.
Oh.
Italian place. Oh, okay. Well, I actually have a place in mind, but I don't want to say it because then,
I already know where
there'd be too many people there crowding the place to.
Yeah, we don't need all my fans at the restaurant.
The fan base, right?
Yeah, the fan base showing up at Igbe Oibe. Well, that'll be. What did you get him, by the way? Is he gonna have some gifts to unwrap tonight, or maybe a cake?
Well, you know what? I was gonna make a cake today, but I was trying to relax for this interview, and I never got it made.
Oh no!
So,
wow!
Right.
We made you
so
that
I might have to
anxious?
have it on Sunday.
All right. Can you save some for us? Because that bread you sent over was to die for. I loved the bread you sent over.
Oh, okay.
Me and T-Roy, what up, fam? Made like French toast out of them, and it was delicious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that woman is amazing. She makes this like every week. I think she's about 93 or 4 now.
You can tell. You can taste it.
Yeah, but she doesn't. Yeah, she's has her recipe straight from Finland, and I like hers the best. Hers is very good. So.
Well, give her a bump knuckles for me.
I will definitely give you some more if next time I see her.
Please do, and bump knuckles for me with her because it's that good. She's
okay, great, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Fran. I won't ask you to reveal what gift you got, Isis, but. We're kind of over here off the, just between us. We're hoping for a new car, but I know, whatever. We'll see. We'll see.
Right. Okay.
Fran,
tell me when your birthday is. When's your birthday?
No, for Isis. We just need to get Isis
September 12th.
September 12th. Yeah, that's mine.
December 12th. Oh, okay.
September.
Like September 11th.
Yeah, day after September 11th.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds cool.
Fran, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time. We've taken too much of your time. Happy birthday to your boy. This has got to be a traumatic day for you, remembering back all those days when he fell out of you. And
well, this interview was actually more stress than having him.
I believe that. I actually believe that. You're a good sport, Franny, Fran.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
God. Holy shit.
Jesus, you're a brave, good boy.
Holy shit.
You're a good boy. I think I asked your mom if you went betwixt her titties when nursing. Pretty sure that happened. I wanted your mom to go, no, he did not motorboat me.
I know.
When he was an infant.
I know.
And dude, your mom is full of shit. She absolutely remembers whether or not she nursed her firstborn.
She's just weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to know if you got a good latch.
She's not us. She's not us, dude.
Yeah, I know.
She's not us.
But she produced you. So that's in there somewhere.
That's so funny, dude.
What?
Just getting mad at my mom. Like he was about to go on me as he went on, like on her as he went on me about the hotel shitting. Like he didn't hold back. Like he was literally about to like rip into my mom.
Well, we put her in an awkward spot. What is she? Her son shit on the lobby floor of a hotel and then kicked it. And so she's got to put up a fight. She's got to defend her boy, especially on his special day.
Like, what did he think she's gonna?
They should have arrested him.
Yeah,
what's there to defend?
Yeah. Well,
it was a mistake, Brandon. Okay.
I think honestly, had I been smart, I would have pulled those guys aside and said, "You realize he's Asperger's as fuck? Do you realize how autistic?
I know,
dude.
Imagine, no, seriously.
Do you like picking on fucking people that are less than? Because that's what you're doing right now. And I'm not happy about it.
Right.
Because if I honestly said, you know what? This kid has extreme anxieties. We're pretty sure it's undiagnosed. We're pretty sure he's Asperger-y and the other one, autistic. They would have backed the fuck off.
I don't know that guy would have.
You would have gotten free hotel rooms.
Right.
No, the manager would have made him back off.
Yeah.
For
dude,
sure,
it was
dude.
honest to God,
he
legitimate.
touched you.
Dude, he absolutely
He laid
did.
his hand on you and made you almost like sniff it like a bad dog.
Brandon, real quick, the listeners already know, so I won't go too much into it, but me and Mike were, in New York, as we said.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Were you here for that?
Yeah.
He was
I was on the couch right there.
Shit, I forgot.
I know the whole story.
Okay, my bad.
He's way ahead of you, pal.
I completely forgot. My fault.
No, but you're right, though. The way that guy came at me, like, dude, I'm a guest in the hotel.
That's what I was saying.
And he was like, why is your guest shitting on the floor? Not like, relieving himself on the. He said, what if I was like a super Christian, which basically I am, and I was offended by the strong language?
Right.
He wasn't. He was relentless.
Well, here's the thing, like, dude. I even when Jay says like, and I get where Jay's coming from. I'm not even saying I don't understand where he's coming from. He, in his mind, this has happened twice. But dude, you have but I've never been confronted by a first time. I'm getting yelled at to the point where I'm crying. I'm literally not once during the interaction.
I'm humiliated.
Right. Well, not once during the interaction though. Am I like, you know what, man? Fuck this, or you know what?
Yeah.
I'm literally like, dude, I know, I'm sorry. And he goes, and the thought of like, well, why did you just leave it? Why did you want? Here was the options.
I could add to it.
Right. The options were.
I could add to it or circle back to it later.
Right. Those were the options. And
can't you just get some yellow tape, one of those like floor might be slippery signs, set it down next to it. I'll go unload the rest of this and we'll circle back to this.
I don't have a problem with somebody confronting me on this. I don't have a problem with a worker coming up.
How awkward was that ride up the elevator for 21
Dude, it was
floors?
incredible.
It must have, because you guys are in tight quarters, and was he yelling at you there too?
Yes, and the thing is his message.
It was a slow elevator too.
Did it get silent? And you're just like, so how's your day going?
No, I didn't. But like the message, the problem was like his message just. It just never changed. It's just yelling at me over and over again, repeating the same thing. And I'm like, we all know what.
I'm telling you, it's because that stupid fucking bitch in the bathroom said, I think he did it yesterday. And now it's a game. What are you up to, sir? You're doing this. Now this is the second day in a row. That was the problem. Had this just been an accident, this would have been an issue.
But here's the thing, it didn't happen. I'm telling you right now, as anything, it did not happen the day before.
Maybe we'll get Adam on the phone.
I want the proof that happened because it didn't happen.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, we've gone late anyways. It's your birthday. You got to get out of here, blow out some candles, and talk about the big day you fell out of your mom.
Right.
Is Lauren going to be there?
Nah, we're going to do something on the weekend.
Okay. Well, say hi for me, man.
I will.
Yeah. Any chance her and Mongoloid Aaron Rodgers are on the rocks?
I don't think so, considering they just literally got engaged a little bit ago and are planning their wife.
You seen his sister?
I've scoped it.
Yeah, you scoped it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's too much of a hint of E in the face that you're like, oh god, I think I'd see E every time. But if you got like, if this is a doggy like all fours, yeah, no big deal. Anyway, happy birthday, Isis.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. We went late. Jay actually had to duck out of here. He had to get somewhere, so that's on me. So anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. Hopefully we'll see some of you out at the pub crawl, spongepubcrawl.com. Last I knew, there were a few seats left, and it's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be playing 3 sets and partying on the bus. Bring your beer with you. It's going to be a good time. So that's Saturday night. And like I said, spongepubcrawl.com. Sponge, SPONGE. Be a great night. So hopefully we see some of you out there. The rest of you have a great weekend.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit. Listen to God.